So today we're going to talk about something that I feel like needs to be talked about more. Granted, I know a lot of people have complained about it or, have talked about it, but like in my situation, it's kind of a little bit different because of the career field that I'm going into, which the career field that I'm going into is EMT or firefighter. And I went to school for EMT and got all my certs and whatnot, even got freaking honorable for it. And, got all my rewards for that and whatnot. And, EMT school wasn't crazy. It wasn't too hard, but, it was a lot. And it was a lot of money to even go to EMT school. And, that was out of pocket. I didn't have a scholarship. I didn't get any financial aid because I couldn't, because you had to be a resident within the state for a year. And I hadn't been a resident. Well, I had, but my license wasn't updated to where I've had it for a year and whatnot. Therefore, I could not get any financial aid for it. So it wasn't horribly expensive, but, it's still a lot of money to begin with. And so I was thinking, when I'm done with school, I'm immediately going to go into a job. And, single cert EMTs, they're not, frowned upon anymore like they were back in the day. So I was like, I'm going to instantly get a job, this, and that, or it might take some time. And that's fine. Well, here it is, 4 or 5 months after school now, and I am still looking for a job. And even before I went to EMT school and I was just trying to get regular work, and I was trying to get anything because I just wanted to make money. I didn't care where I worked, whether it'd be fast food, and I really didn't want to go back to McDonald's again, which unfortunately I did have to because the job market is just horrible. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, or, anywhere that you are, the job market sucks for just about everything, unless you're like a super genius and have like you went to Harvard or, stuff like that, which I even think people who have gone to Harvard have even struggled with getting jobs and whatnot. And then now, like with AI becoming a big thing and that replacing a lot of jobs, that's just going to make the job market even worse than it already is. But yeah, I just kind of want to get on here and just yap and rant about how the job market is ridiculous, even with the career field that I'm in, and how much it is needed nowadays with, medical problems and fires becoming a more issue because people lack a lot of intelligence nowadays. But like, I don't plan on like giving up and whatnot. And I will continue to go on Indeed and refresh it every single day until a job offer comes up with EMT, because fire school, granted, if I went to fire school, I would be a double cert and I would be more likely to get a job. But fire school is $4,000 for the classes plus the gear, which is over another grand. And that's, pushing almost $6,000. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a money tree in my backyard, and I can't just, say, mirror on the wall, give me some money, and, cash magically appears, which I really wish was true, because I want to go to fire school and whatnot. And the county that I'm in right now, if I were to get hired as an EMT, all I have to do is sign a contract saying that I will work with them and that they'll end up paying for fire school as long as I, progress within the department, going up to fire and then even med school in the future. And, that's my plan. Like, I want to become a firefighter paramedic, and I know it's going to be challenging for me, but I want to challenge myself because this is a career that I have been passionate about for a little while now. Granted, my original career path was to go into meteorology, but the math was just a little bit too much for my brain to comprehend. So I ended up switching my majors when I moved down to Florida, all because I watched a silly show that was about, firefighting and whatnot, and it kind of just all clicked and what I wanted to do. And granted, there were some times when I was a little kid where I was like, I want to become a firefighter, this and that, and it just never really stuck until I watched a video about this firefighter saving this kid out of a fire, and it almost felt like a calling to me, like it just clicked. And I was hooked on trying to get into the fire department and whatnot. And I even went on 3 ride-alongs within the county just to see what it was like and how I would handle, seeing such traumatic things. Because, you see a lot of stuff on the job. And I just wanted to make sure that I would be able to handle seeing all that stuff on the job and whatnot. And I handled it pretty well. And then I signed up for EMT school and went to EMT school, did all my ride-alongs within the class, and was just inevitably proud of myself that I was able to handle, seeing a lot of blood or just dealing with a lot of scary situations, because I've had anxiety and all that fun stuff for a very long time. And I was just impressed with myself that I was able to handle all that. And yeah, but I know I've given you guys kind of like a life story of what I've gone through. And I mean, that's kind of the point of my videos, is just kind of yapping about life and giving you guys life advice, or just, talking. And some of my other videos were kind of different than this one, where I, sit here and talk. But, I feel like a lot of people's attention spans can't really do that. So I put on some nice Minecraft in the background for you to watch, which is one of the worlds that I've worked on since I was a kid. And I've worked on for so much time. I genuinely don't remember when I started it, but it was this world's somewhere between 9 and 10 years old. And it's just crazy how far I've gotten in it. And, it's a creative world, it's not survival, so it's not really that impressive, but I think it's impressive with how long I've had the world and I worked on it. But yeah, the job market is genuinely just horrendous. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. Even like with the fast food industry, I can't tell you how many times that I've applied to jobs and they tell me, oh, we would love to hire you, but you lack experience. Like when I originally moved down to Florida, I wanted to become a bartender or a server, and I kept getting the same thing. Oh, well, you don't have experience and we want someone who's experienced. How the heck am I supposed to get experience with a job if you're not willing to give me that experience that I need? And like I get, hiring kids, which I wasn't even really a kid, I was 20 years old, is, a big risk, because, a lot of people don't take jobs seriously anymore. And I was, I'm a really good worker. I mean, I might be slow for the first couple of weeks and you might like genuinely hate me because you're like, oh my God, this guy is slow, he is gonna suck. But like once it clicks, like I'm really good and I have a really good work ethic, and it sucks sometimes when you get denied jobs. And I mean, that's life. You're gonna get denied many jobs, but like I just don't want to be denied jobs, man. But I really hope that refreshing Indeed, and I don't just use Indeed, because Indeed kind of sucks because there's a lot of fake jobs on there, or your application, they don't get it when you put it in. Like I use like the government job websites for the county that I'm in, and like I've literally applied for the volunteer positions and still have not heard back from them. They say that it takes 2 to 3 weeks to process, and it's like, what do you mean it takes 2 to 3 weeks to process a volunteer position? Like, I'm willing to work at the fire station. You don't even need to pay me. I just want to continue my knowledge and learn stuff and learn how to work on the daily basis of being an EMT or even a firefighter. And I know that these firefighters that I have like contacts of, or even the administration, get tired of me constantly freaking emailing them saying, oh, I wanna work for you guys, let me know if I can do anything, this and that. Like, I'm very consistent on wanting to work within the department, and eventually it'll pay off and they'll see my consistency and that I want to work with them. But it's just very discouraging when I get turned down over and over again. And it's not gonna stop me. Like, this is something that I really want, and I'm not gonna give up anytime soon, at least. But let me know if you guys are struggling with the same thing, not in the same career field, but just things in general with getting a job, because I know that I'm not the only one who struggles to find jobs nowadays. But there's other like counties around me that I could technically apply for, but even then there's a couple counties around me that aren't even hiring either for single cert EMTs, at least. So that's also discouraging, because it's like I'm waiting, and I feel like I'm gonna lose all this knowledge that I had. But like, it's not that I don't want to work in other counties. It's just some of the counties have really bad traffic. Like there's this town called Ocala, and the traffic there is horrendous, and I really don't want to drive an ambulance around there, like inexperienced at least. If I had experience, then I wouldn't mind it, but I also know my county like very well, and I know, where everything is around here. I'm more familiar with my surroundings here, So I'm more comfortable with it. Now you're probably like, oh, why don't you get out of your comfort zone and go somewhere else? I get that. It's just, there's like life that is endangered when you're in an ambulance, and I would rather be more prepared in a county that I'm more familiar with than a county I'm not familiar with. Because the last thing I want to do is put a patient's life in danger because of my lack of knowledge of the area that I'm working in. And yeah, I thought I'd just hop on today and rant about the crappy job stuff, and just kind of look at it on a brighter side of things, because nowadays there's just a lot of negativity out there, and this channel is really meant to be on the positive side of things, and that's what I will keep it at. But yeah, just make sure to hit the like button. This video is very, very low quality. Like, I'm putting a voiceover in CapCut, and this is like the video is taken off my Xbox, if that shows you how low quality this video is. And I'm not gonna like do a lot of cuts through my audio too, so you're gonna hear a lot of like breath sounds and all of that fun stuff. I could go through and edit those out, but that gets rid of the authenticity of that. I can't even pronounce words either. So if this video manages to get out there to an audience, which will be pretty surprising, because YouTube is very crappy when it comes to throwing videos out there. But if it does, and I manage to entertain you, like, consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the like button, as it'll promote my video out there to more people, which is not necessarily what I want, because talking to a lot of people is like really scary and very shy when it comes to that. Like, even when I had this video recording in the background, like, I was getting nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are gonna see me working on my world, and I have a lot of self-conscious crap and whatnot. But I'm not going to keep you too much longer, as this video in the background should be ending here soon. So as I said before, I hope you have a wonderful day or night, or whenever time you're watching this video, and you consider hitting that like button, and leave a comment down below what topic you want me to come on next, or things that you want me to talk about, or just let me know how your day is going and whatnot. If you managed to watch the entire video, the video in the background should help with your attention span and watching it all. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one, or not. I might not upload for another year, but yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.